Hello and welcome to our Vox Pop series. We're live today from the AdNews Media Summit. My name's Sarah Homewood and I'm a journalist with AdNews. I'm joined by Michael Stephenson, Chief Sales Officer for Nine Entertainment Co. Michael just spoke on the panel Collision of Digital and TV. Welcome, Michael.
Thanks.
So there were obviously some interesting things said on the panel, especially between Ellie Rogers from Facebook and yourself and Russell Howcroft from 10, talking about how potentially, the value of TV might have been undervalued by some players like Facebook. Do you think TV players need to do a better job of telling the story about the power of TV?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, last week we launched Think TV, which is an initiative for 7, 9, 10 and Foxtel through MCN to come together to promote the power and effectiveness of what television is. We need to do that better. We need to do that more often, and hence the Think TV organisation being launched. What I know about television is it builds brands, it launches products, it launches variants, and it ultimately delivers the best possible return on investment for advertisers. It sells product. And it's proven to do that over a long period of time. At the end of the day, what television does is we create amazing, beautiful content, and we allow that to be consumed by advertisers on any device. Those environments are brand safe, they're 100% viewable, they run for 30 seconds or 15 seconds or 60 or 90 if you want to, and that is the benefit and the luxury that we have of having broadcast license and having television businesses. And we need to continue to tell that story, because I believe the pendulum has swung way too far in the direction of Google and Facebook and the long tail, if I can include those guys as well. And television needs to, in all of its forms, television redefined, needs to reposition itself in the place that it rightly deserves to be.
And do you think this year will be the year that the pendulum swings back towards TV?
I think if I look at what's happened in the UK, that market has been in growth, and that market has been in growth as they report television numbers in aggregate. So where is television being consumed? It is no longer defined as the piece of hardware that sits on the wall in your lounge. It is every device. So we create content and distribute it everywhere. We'll aggregate those audiences, and I think what you'll see is the Australian market follow what has happened in the UK, where it has come back into growth. And I think we are probably 12 months away from that, but in the next 12 months you're going to see a lot of activity from all of us aligned in market with a single story that talks about the power of broadcast television in all its forms.
And we're asking everyone today, what in your opinion is the most cringeworthy buzzword?
Programmatic. We're all for automating the trading process and underpinning that with deep data, but I think the word's ill-used, ill-defined, and I think there needs to be a consensus around what it actually means, so that we can all endeavour to deliver ultimately the best possible trading platform to make television in particular, but all of our assets traded agnostically, easy to buy.
I'm joined by Timothy at Whitfield, Director of Technical Operations for GroupM. Welcome, Timothy.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
So Tim just spoke on the digital reality check panel, and some really interesting things came up in that. One of the points that I really liked was sort of the time wastage around tech that you talked about, and how that can be in ways a bigger issue than viewability and ad blocking. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. So I think that when it gets around to technical companies in Australia, there's about 1,878-ish companies, as far as I understand, in ad tech, programmatically globally. About 150 of them hit our shores at this stage. We estimate that there's about $300 million up for grabs for ad tech in Australia, which, denominator over numerator, you're going to get around $2 million per company. That puts an incredible pressure on these guys to go and sell the tech. What we find, or what I've noticed, is that when there's that much pressure on there, there's a likelihood for people to overpromise and underdeliver. What that unfortunately does is two things. Is that one, it's just time waste in some cases. They're going into agencies, they're trying to sell, they're trying to oversell, and when you actually run a test with them, you find that they didn't quite do as good as you expect them to do. And that's time out of your day to meet them, that's time to go and run a campaign, as well as the missed budget on the campaign, which is obviously not our money, it's our client's money. So we're very, very precious about making sure just the best technology partners are representing our client's budget.
And we're asking everyone today what they think the most cringeworthy buzzword is. What's yours?
Oh, the one that gets me is the term "a screen is a screen is a screen." It's a lazy way of looking at the quality of data and the quality of inventory behind it.
And I'm joined by Lynn Chealander, Vice President, Australia New Zealand for VivaKi OS. Welcome, Lynn.
Thank you.
So Lynn just spoke on the digital reality check panel, and there were lots of interesting things that came up on that panel. One of them was obviously we're seeing a developing scale game with Facebook and Google taking more and more market share. What are your views on this?
Look, I think we really need to think hard about, when we're talking about scale, that's an old media way of measuring things. So you think about, for example, the news press release with Emma, where they talked about how they have more scale than Facebook. Well, just having more people doesn't matter anymore. Programmatic has kind of made scale a bit redundant and a bit commoditized. So I think where the value really needs to come is in emerging partners and partnerships coming together, rather, around data that is available across all media. I think that that's a much more interesting type of scale, and it's the type of scale that Google and Facebook have.
And obviously we're asking everyone today what their most cringeworthy buzzword is. What's yours?
Well, it's not a buzzword, but every time someone comes to me with something to sell and they say, "I'm not Google, buy me," I say, well, join the club. Not interested, don't want it. Come up with something better.
Well, Lynn, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. And you can get more of our Media Summit content on our website, adnews.com.au.